Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Christy Love, and today I am interviewing Ebony Cochran, and I want you to tell them what you do, because I heard you are like the boss of this. So just tell them what you do.
So I'm a credit consultant. I help people establish personal credit and business credit, and I also assist them with their finances. Because what I found is that a lot of people's credit is a reflection of their finances. So we want to be able to assist them with their finances as well, and also help them with their personal credit and business credit so they can get the things that they deserve.
Exactly, like a house,
yes.
a car.
Yes. Whatever you deserve.
Whatever we deserve. Okay.
Yes.
Now, how long have you been doing this? What got you into restoring credit and being able to do it so well at a pace that you just get all these clients? Because you're busy, girl.
Yes, I'm busy. But I started off working on my credit first.
Right.
So it was an issue for me because a lot of times we're taught that, you know, cash is king, right? So we make the money, we spend the money, not really realizing that I can save this money if I use other people's money, right?
Exactly.
So when it became time for me to purchase my home, it was either I needed to get my credit together or I needed to spend all of my cash, right? And I didn't want to do that. So I started educating myself about credit and started using those tools and principles. So I took my scores from a 486, I believe it's like an 830 now. So the thing about credit is that it's really just a game. If you understand it, you can be successful at it. So that's why I like to be able to educate my clients, not do all of the work for them. I want to include them in the process, because if I include them in the process, they'll be able to continue on going forward without my assistant. I have over 800 clients right now who's in the program. I know they are awesome. So for me, this is something that's near and dear because I was once the client.
Exactly. Okay. Now, when people come to you, I know people come to you with all kind of issues and problems, but what are some of the problems that people are having with just being able to raise their credit score?
I think the know-how is one.
Okay.
So I look at my credit report, I don't know what this is saying. Right? Because
that's what you mean.
Because clients look at it different than what I look at.
Okay.
So sometimes you look at it and complain about what's on the report, and I look at it and say, well, really the problem is what's not on the report.
Okay.
Right? So we just look at it a little bit differently. I get a lot of issues with student loans. I get a lot of issues with I co-signed from a friend and
from my boyfriend.
Yeah, my boyfriend and stuff like that. So I get a lot of different issues, but they're generally the same. Everything that I've done in my life has been self-taught. Even when I had my credit repair company, not my credit repair company, my income tax company for 10 years, I was self-taught. Okay. So everything that I've done, there really was no school, no formal training. And the thing is, nobody asks me, what are my credentials? My credentials are my testimonies.
Exactly.
You see me post those all the time. You see these people getting homes and cars and things like that. Yeah, so this is one of those industries where there is no formal training. So if there were, I would have went. But I do have degrees and things like that. So, but those don't assist me in what I'm doing. Okay. That answers the question.
It does. Okay. Now, do you feel like with you, when you used to do taxes for people, do you feel like that kind of pushed you into going into this just from seeing maybe other people's income, or did that have any effect on this?
I wouldn't say that. Okay. I would say it helped me deal with people better because I had already had a clientele with, you know, income taxes. So, but during that season, we never talked about finances.
Gotcha.
It was just taxes. Let me prepare this. We never really got to the, you know, internal factors. Yeah, we didn't really go into things like that. But once I sold the company to H&R Block and then I started working for them, they had a credit product where they would give you a loan, but it was based off credit. And everybody would get denied, right? So, you know, that sparked something too, but once I started posting my husband's results, because technically that was my first client. Right. So once I started posting his results and I saw people kept responding and emailing and DMing and things like that, I knew it was people that needed the service. So that's really how Blackwood was born.
Okay. Now, with a lot of people, you know, they get credit cards and like you said, they get other people's stuff put on their name. When clients come to you, do they feel like, you know, this is hopeless, like I can't do this because I don't make this amount of money to pay this off? Like, what are some of like the results and testimonies that you hear from your clients, like when they first come to you and they're in like that bad spot? It's like, I need to get this credit up, but I feel like I'm not gonna be able to do it because I don't make this amount of money to pay this off.
Usually if it's somebody that truly feels that way, they call me first. Okay. Before they even schedule, and I let them know that I started there. Everybody that comes through the door starts there. We just have to put some work in, right? This is not something that's going to happen overnight. It's a process. So I make sure I tell them that. Like, this is not just some magical thing that happens and then you walk in here and you leave out and you have this really awesome score. So I let them know that. Like, we have to do some work. But then with the testimonies that I share and that I post, I want you to visually be able to see that.
See it, right.
I want you to visually be able to see that this client caught an Uber to Ebony's office, but now she's posting her new car with no money down and things like that. So that's why when I say real people, real results, that's true. Because your finances, it weighs really heavy on you. So a lot of times when they come in and they live paycheck to paycheck, I need to sit with them and figure out a way to get them out of that. Like, I had a lady yesterday and she was saying she had $68,000 in student loans. Okay, that's fine, right? There's no time frame that you have to pay this stuff off.
Right.
So it's not like a car note where we have 48 months or something. So once we broke it down to a monthly payment that was okay with her, she could breathe.
Like, okay, I can figure this out.
Yeah, it went from you know, $68,000 debt to $167 a week.
Okay.
Which she felt like, okay, I can do that. And that was for 8 years. But it can be done.
It can be done. You just, once you see it, visually see it, and then say, okay, I need to do this. Let me just go ahead and pay
Especially when you've already had it for 7 or 8 years. Exactly. We could have been done.
That's what people need. That's exactly. I think it's the accountability, because I want to pay off so much.
Yes.
But if I just say, okay, Christy, you gonna do this, I'd be like, well, I kind of need to go out to eat this day, and I kind of need to.
Goodness.
That's
and then you need somebody to tell you what you really should be paying.
Exactly.
Because sometimes we pay the wrong stuff. Sometimes people are focused on paying the collections, but when you pay the collections off, your score drops.
I remember you.
Yeah. So and people don't know that. So it's like somebody needs to tell you, okay, don't pay this. We need to focus on this open stuff. All the collections are closed. So somebody that kind of understands credit needs to step in and say, you need some guidance.
Okay. Now, when people come to you, somebody came to you and said, hey, Ebony, my credit score is in the 400s or something like that. I need help, but I don't know how to go about it. What's the steps and process?
The actual service is the consulting. Okay. Consulting is, I am your coach.
Okay.
I give you the plays. I'm even going to come and play with you on the court, right?
Okay.
So you need somebody to be able to look at the credit report and tell you exactly what you need to be working on. Because sometimes people focus on the wrong things, which stretches their process out, which takes the people a long amount of time to get this together. So even when clients come in and say, I've been working on this on my own, I'm like, oh, how long? Oh, it's been a year. It's because they don't really know what they're doing. Right. They're probably going off of a blog or some type of forum or something where somebody's giving their personal opinion about something as opposed to some facts.
Some facts, yeah.
Come in, they bring all 3 credit reports.
Okay.
We do not use Credit Karma because they provide us with 2.
Right.
You're smiling like, yes, Ebony, you told me
I
this
remember.
already. So then they need to bring in a piece of ID, because we need to verify that it's you, right? And a piece of mail with your current address on it, because anytime somebody responds, they're going to respond by mail. So we have to verify that that is the correct address. Okay. Then they sit with me for an hour. We go through all 3 credit reports. We look at the scores. The first thing I ask them is, what is your goal? Everybody's goal is different, right? So, but I'm asking that question because I need to be able to put you on the path to reach the goal. Exactly. So me getting you mortgage ready and getting you car ready is 2 totally different paths, right? So I need to know that in the beginning. So then we go through all 3 credit reports. Okay. I need to see what's there. I need to make sure you're not a victim of identity theft. And then I need to give you your game plan. I call it homework because this is the stuff you have to do when you get home, right? So that could be anything from making a phone call or, you know, just retrieving the mail that I need that's going to come through the mail, right? Or I might need you to open an account. Right. So those are the things legally that I can't do, that I need you to do. But we're working together.
What are the 3 scores that they need?
They need Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion.
Okay. Gotcha.
So remember, Credit Karma is Equifax and TransUnion. So what about Experian, right? So when people are doing it themselves and they're disputing things through Credit Karma, they always leave out Experian because it's not on there.
What is the difference between those three? That's what I know.
The 3 scores?
Yeah, the 3 scores. Like, why isn't it just one? Why is it like 3 different ones?
So I always tell people that it's kind of similar to Kmart, Target, and Walmart.
Okay.
And they all kind of sell the same thing. They're in the same industry, but they're all different price points. All of these things are different. So it's the same thing with them. Experian is different than Equifax. Some companies only report to certain bureaus.
Gotcha.
Like I had a client today that her car note only reported to Equifax and TransUnion. So she didn't even get credit for the payment on Experian.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's something else because she couldn't figure out why this score was so much lower than the other 2, right? And it was just simply because they weren't reporting there. They have to pay to report. So I don't want to pay to report to all 3.
One is high, one is, I'm like, why is this so different? But
if you really go through it, you will see something over here that's not over here, or maybe a balance is reporting, you know, inaccurately. So you really have to take a fine-tooth comb and go through these reports.
If you could say something to somebody, why do you feel like this service and this business is so important for African Americans to have to be able to get their credit score up?
I think it's really important just because it's not taught in our community. Exactly. It's not one of those things that we focus on in school or even in the household. Because sometimes it's like, well, this is something that your parents are supposed to teach you, but my parents don't know it. That's so how are they going to teach us?
Because they don't teach it to you in school, really.
They do not.
They don't tell you about credit cards, loans, nothing.
Because it's a business.
Right.
So if everybody was educated, how would we make money off the finance charges?
Makes sense.
So I understand it from a business aspect, but in our community, we complain the most about our insurance rates, our car insurance, but we're not talking about how the credit score even impacts that, right? When we talk about employment, they're pulling your credit report. They want to judge your character off these numbers and off of what these reports say. It's a character-based paperwork, right? So remember I said that your credit report is really your adult report card?
It is.
You need to really figure out if you're failing, if you're passing, and really go through it and educate yourself if you don't want to use a company. Because you don't have to use a company. You can take the time and really read up and understand these things and apply it to your personal situation. But like I said, I don't think our community is more so shadowed, like, oh, they're teaching everybody else, they're just not teaching us.
Right.
I just think it's one of those things where I don't want to talk about it until I need it.
Exactly.
So if I can touch, you know, a client and then they go back and tell their coworkers and their children, that's really what I want to focus on. Spreading this throughout our community, right? And making this an issue.
Needs to be more. You need to do another event.
Okay. I know you're trying to record me saying I'm gonna do another event.
I need you to do at least 3. Okay. Early winter, spring, fall ish. Because
just put it together. I'll show up.
I'll put it together.
Okay.
We need that. Now tell everybody where they can follow you at on social media, your website, if they need to schedule you for services.
Okay.
Put that plug in there.
All right. So it's blackwoodcreditservices.com. You can email me at info@blackwoodcreditservices.com. And I really encourage you to go on Facebook and Instagram and look up testimony reports. You can hashtag testimony report and you can see all of my clients' results. Also, if you go on Facebook or Instagram, you can search Blackwood Credit Services and see all of my clients' results. I want you to do your due diligence when working with companies. You should be able to see what it is that they do before you hire them.
Absolutely.
Before you hire them.
All right. This is the interview with Ebony Cochran. You can check this interview on my website at ChristyLoveMedia.com. And I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.